Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Sherlock, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Sherlock's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we use while we're working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free then to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Sherlock has been fitted with his own personal training collar, and we will be sure to show you how to properly put that collar on and use it during your one-on-one lesson. Now, as you can see, Sherlock is sitting very nicely on Fred's left-hand side, which is where all of our obedience training takes place. The first command that they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling, and heeling is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Sherlock take off doing that now, and the command that you're going to give is Sherlock heel, and you're going to simply start walking, and then Sherlock should fall in line nicely, heeling appropriately at your left heel position, being sure not to lag behind on that leash or lunge ahead and pull on that leash. And he should be keeping pace with you, whether it's a faster pace or a slower pace. Also included in the heeling exercise, which you will see frequently throughout the video, is an automatic sit, which you just saw occur. So anytime you're out walking with Sherlock and you stop, he should sit nicely. The next command they're going to demonstrate for you is the stay command, and the stay command is a hand and voice command. You're going to use the open flat of your left palm an inch or so in front of his muzzle and the one-word command to stay, and then you're going to walk out to the end of the training leash. Now, Sherlock should remain seated in this position throughout the entire command and should not break. This is a great command to practice frequently throughout your day to help build up Sherlock's ability to sit and stay for longer periods of time. When you're practicing at home, start at 1 minute and increase your intervals, working up to a total of 3 minutes for your long sit-stay. When Fred returns back, he's going to walk all the way around him, counterclockwise behind, returning so that Sherlock is on his left-hand side. Great job. You saw him give him a little pet there. It is very important that when you are working Sherlock through his commands, that you use lots of motivation, and that can be accomplished through positive reinforcement, whether it's verbal praise, telling him he's a good boy, or physically praising him and petting him. So Fred's demonstrating that sit-stay again. Open flat of your left palm in front of his muzzle, the command to stay, out to the end of the leash. Fred's going to give him a moment to hold that sit-stay, and now they're going to demonstrate the recall or the come-on command. Give the command, Sherlock, come.
Sherlock, come.
He should then come in and sit nicely right in front of you. Great job. Heel him around the back of you then, returning him to your left-hand side once again where he should sit. And they'll demonstrate that again. Leave him in a sit-stay, walk out to the end of the leash, give him a moment to hold his sit-stay, and then when you deem appropriately, give the command, Sherlock, come. Gather your leash like Fred is doing. Make sure he sits nicely. Great job. Heel him around the back of you. Turn him to your left-hand side where he should sit. Great job. Fred's just adjusting his collar there. When Sherlock comes home and you're practicing his commands with him, you should make sure that you're picking a nice quiet area with no distractions for the transition back home and establishing new rules in the household. And then over time, you will slowly start to incorporate the amount of distractions you have in your training sessions. This next command they're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. You're going to use the open flat of your left palm again, but this time straight down towards the ground and the one-word command to down. Then give the stay command and walk out to the end of your leash. And with the long down stay, he should remain laying down in this position and should not break. This, again, is another command that you should be practicing frequently throughout your day to help build up his ability to down stay for longer periods of time. And with your down stay, you want to practice starting at 3 minutes and working up your intervals going to 5 minutes for your long down stay. Also, when Sherlock first comes home, we advise that you set aside about 10 to 15 minutes every day for the first couple of weeks to practice his commands in a formal training session, such as this instructional video here. It will help you practice with your commands, as well as helping with the transition once again back into the house with new rules, and him understanding he has to follow through with them with yourself as well. So Fred left him in another down stay out to the end of the leash, and now he's going to demonstrate the recall or the come on command from the down position this time. Sherlock gets, he gets up, comes in. Again, be sure to gather your leash as he comes in case you have to provide correction. And now around the back. Good boy. Now this last command that they're heeling in position for is the down from a distance. And for this command, you'll leave him in a sit-stay. Out to the end of your leash. From the end of the leash, use your right hand to give the down command.
Down. No.
Now Fred, he didn't follow through the first time, so Fred gave him a nice firm no, repeated the command, and he self-corrected and went down the second time. As you could tell, he was a little distracted that first time there, but it's important to follow through with his commands. And again, if you need to provide a correction, the first words out of your mouth should be a nice firm no, followed by the repeat of the command. Now what they're demonstrating for you is a little sample of our advanced off-leash training. If you are very diligent working Sherlock through his commands, you'll be able to advance to dropping the leash in the future. This is not something that we recommend at first. Again, he should be completing all of his commands for you 100% of the time on leash and collar before you advance to dropping the leash to practice some off-leash. It's been a pleasure working with Sherlock. We thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog training company.